In Siberia, in the summer of 2018, a stretch of permafrost close to the Indigirka River had melted sufficiently to reveal a 2-month-old puppy's body. Scientists uncovered the puppy's nearly completely preserved remains and estimated its fantastic age to be 18,000 years. In this video, we will discuss how taming dog animals changed humanity. The video will be amazing, so stick to the end. The frozen animal was nicknamed Dogor, not only the word for friend in the local language, but also a clever play on words. Is it a dog or something else? Its teeth, most of its fur, and even a lovely little nose were all still present despite its advanced age. Although Dogor was in excellent shape for a pup almost 20,000 years old, researchers could not determine what species it belonged to. Was that a dog or a wolf exactly? Or was there a middle ground? Knowing whether Dogor was a wolf or a dog could help us better grasp the precise period, perhaps even the location, where domestication took place. Dogor is thought to have existed when wolves were considered to be becoming domesticated. We still need to fully understand how wolves evolved from being villains in fairy tales to becoming our canine friends. For instance, when were they initially domesticated? What location was this? And how did it appear anatomically and in terms of genetics? Though the specifics are still being worked out, most experts concur that it required thousands of years of contact for us to form a strong link with these good boys and girls. Modern dogs are members of the Canis lupus familiaris subspecies, and we can link their ancestry to Canis lupus, a now extinct wolf species from the Pleistocene that they share as ancestors with the contemporary gray wolf. However, it is still being determined what species this ancestor actually was. The Tamir wolf, a specimen found in northern Siberia, is descended from an extinct species identified as a putative ancestral wolf species. However, genetic investigation has proven that these species are not the direct ancestors of Canis lupus familiaris. We may infer from analyses of the genomes of dogs and wolves that between 40,000 and 27,000 years ago, wolves and dogs started to genetically split from one another. The separation occurred over a short time, and along human migratory routes, there was likely interbreeding between domestic dogs and wild wolves, making it difficult to determine the exact time frame. So even at the beginning of domestication, dogs still somewhat resembled wolves. Furthermore, domestication is not necessarily the same as these two species' genetic divergence. Domestication refers to the entire behavioral and genetic process humans were involved in, whereas genetic divergence refers to a split in the gene pool. But hypersociability, the propensity for adult animals to establish social interaction, even with members of other species, seems to be one of the fundamental genetic qualities modern dogs and wolves share and has been particularly heavily selected for. Additionally, certain wolves may have been better suited for future domestication if they had exhibited this propensity combined with other traits like foraging for food. Additionally, as human settlements developed and these canines had access to resources, these qualities would have been advantageous. An animal gains from a relationship with humans, but there is little to no advantage for the humans themselves. This is the commensal pathway to domestication. In this instance, the abandoned human food attracted protodogs and probably attracted other creatures they may have also preyed on. And some evidence suggests that this was probably occurring about 28,500 years ago. Based on the microscopic wear on their teeth, researchers in a recent publication from 2020 identified two species of canids from a site in the Czech Republic. One group wore clothing more in line with a diet high in meat, while the other group wore clothing that suggested they had been munching on more rigid, more brittle materials, such as bone. According to the researchers, the difference indicates that the bone-chewing group spent more time in this human community and consumed their leftovers. Once tamed, wolves may serve as guard dogs and hunting partners and even assist in domesticating other livestock species humans eventually recognize. After then, canine pals accompanied their human owners wherever they went. In fact, a specific genetic adaptation in dogs allows us to trace the expansion of agriculture. In 2013, researchers pinpointed the gene responsible for transitioning from wolves' carnivorous diet to dogs' more starchy diet. Domestic dogs have more copies of the ANOI2B gene than wolves. The pancreas secretes an enzyme called ANOI2B that breaks down starch. Agriculture, such as wheat and rice production, is frequently linked to increased consumption of starch by individuals. Additionally, domesticated dogs that lived in settlements would have been fed the same food as people. There is disagreement over whether dogs were domesticated only once or more than once, in addition to the difficulty in determining when they were first domesticated. The genetic divergence between European and Asian dogs appears to happen after dogs were identified in these places, suggesting domestication happened in both regions. Like cats, dogs were initially believed to have undergone 2 domestications. However, studies from 2016 disproved this theory. Another 2017 study, however, contends that dogs may have only been domesticated once. The oldest canine remains date back 7,200 years, while the youngest was 4,700 years old. And by comparing them to contemporary wolves and canines, researchers discovered that both had between 70 and 80% European ancestry. The genetic divergence between European and Asian dogs was also discovered to have occurred far earlier in this analysis than in the 2016 study, suggesting that domestication only took place once. Therefore, rather than 2 different domestication events, dogs have been domesticated throughout history. Although the exact timeline and circumstances surrounding this are still unknown, it didn't take long for people to develop strong attachments to their puppies. Additionally, the archaeological record of graves demonstrates this connection. Dog graves dating from the late Pleistocene to the mid-Holocene epoch have been discovered in Europe, Asia, Africa, and North America. These canine funerals are unique because many were handled and buried in manners that are comparable to those used for human burials. This suggests that these dogs were regarded as very close friends, even after their deaths. An approximately 9,000-year-old graveyard in Siberia, for instance, included the remains of a male dog along with other artifacts, such as a spoon crafted from a sizable antler. The fact that this dog was an older adult and had wounds that had partially healed by the time of his death indicated that he had received treatment throughout his life. According to an analysis of the chemistry of one of his vertebrae, his diet consisted of terrestrial and marine resources, precisely like the diets of the humans who lived at the location. This could imply that the people and dogs shared a home and even ate together. In some societies, humans and dogs are buried together in what are known as mixed burials. In fact, 2 human corpses were discovered next to the earliest recorded canine burial, a puppy buried in Germany some 16,000 years ago. In Egypt, where dogs were frequently used for hunting and guarding, they were buried alongside their human owners. One of the local monarchs' preferred hunting partners may have been the dog mummified in a tomb at Valley of the Kings. Dogs have undergone physical and genetic modifications due to domestication over thousands of years. Although many early dogs resembled one another reasonably closely, new breeds were created to serve various human requirements, and coat colors and textures expanded in variety. As humans traveled the globe with their canine companions and encountered new canid communities, many of these changes can be attributed to the crossbreeding and hybridization of individual dog species. Hundreds of dog breeds are available today, most of which are very recent. They emerged from the Victorian era's establishment of dog shows in Britain. Dogs were initially attracted to our ancestors for food, but eventually formed bonds with us and coexisted with us for thousands of years. According to the archaeological record of human and dog burials, this link persisted after death. The history of dog domestication is constantly evolving due to new discoveries. Therefore, the roots of this relationship are still more complex than previously imagined. The DNA results of Dogor, the 18,000-year-old puppy from Siberia, are still a mystery. It is hoped that it will illuminate the early stages of domestication. But at the absolute least, we may assert that dogs have long been our species' best buddies. This was all for today. I hope you liked the video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay safe, and we will be right back soon with another video. For more information, subscribe and watch other videos from our channel.